I noticed in the comments from the last video that there are a lot of people that are just lonely out there. And you really don't have to be, and that can add to your stress quite a bit. And when I say that I avoid people, I do. But that doesn't mean that I don't have friends. I do have a close circle of very trusted friends. People that would do anything for me, people that I would do anything for. And I know that because they've proven it to me over and over and over again. Never once have I asked my friends to do something for me, and they just do it. They just make it happen. As an example, I needed to get our food storage shed built up, and I was injured. And I just reached out to my group, and they scheduled it for a Sunday when they were all off work, and a bunch of guys showed up at my place, and they got the thing practically built, sides up, the framing, everything. So that saved me a whole bunch of time. Now, these groups are easy to find. They're already made pretty much just about everywhere. They go by a number of names, mutual assistance groups, things like that. And when you go to look for one, you definitely don't want to join one that's just going to take you and let you in and that's it. You want to find one that has like a 90-day or 120-day trial period so that you can get to know them and they can get to know you. Now, I'm not talking about these national organizations that have no guidelines or rules or anything like that. You could end up in an organization that's anti-government and through no fault of your own end up getting balled up in some weird somebody in the group did something wrong, and by association you're guilty too, and then they round you up. Some weird RICO stuff. What I mean is you get to know these people for a while. You make sure that they're like-minded. You make sure that they are there for mutual assistance. They're not there to go out and overthrow a government or anything like that. Everybody, of course, has their opinions, and opinions even within these groups will vary to some degree. But what matters is that they respect you, that they respect your opinions, and that they respect whatever skill set you bring to the table. Now, everybody's not going to be able to come out and frame a shed, or everybody's not going to be able to come out and repair your tractor. Everybody's not going to be able to provide security for the group if something goes wrong. But everybody brings something to the table. And you want a group that respects that. Because they're going to respect your age and wisdom. Because there are younger people in these groups too. And boy, they can weld, and they can do plumbing, and they can do automotive repair, heavy equipment repair, and all kinds of construction tasks. Some of them are nurses. Some of them have experience as combat medics. All of these appear in my group. But some of them are a little older, and they don't have a resume of things that you would think are important. But let's just put this into perspective for a minute. If you're in a group that believes that something bad may happen, and you're of that mind, and you think that you may have to bug out but don't really have a place to bug out to, You want a group that can assist you with the planning of that. They have some sort of a plan in place. It's usually a straw man plan because things change. You don't want to get too detailed in your plans and just everything falls apart all at once. But they have lists. What, maybe you don't even know what to store. Now, most scenarios, I can guarantee you, don't require a bug out. Most of them, you're going to just stay in your house until it blows over. Emergencies happen. Last night, I don't know, probably about 4 o'clock, my electricity went out. So our electricity was out for about 4 or 5 hours. Fortunately, it is December. Fortunately, we just threw another log on the fireplace and, we would live in the dark, except we have plenty of lights and things of that nature. And we were able to wait for the power to come on. No big deal. Sometimes, though, at this time of year, could be an ice storm that would take down some of the transformers and some of the wires. And we would be out of power for several days. So now we have to stay in the house for several days. We've had to do that before. I may have mentioned it in another video with our Great Dane, the dog that we had at the time, Horace. Great dog, by the way. We put him in one of my gym shirts. It's a shirt that I wore to the gym. It was from a company called Big Dogs. It was purple. He was a black and white Great Dane. And we put him in it, and he didn't even want it off after this was over. He just wanted to keep on that shirt all the time. So I lost my shirt. But anyway, back to the groups. So these groups aren't hard to find. What is hard to do is to figure out what kind of a group it is. What are their goals? They have to be able to articulate that to you, and you have to be able to articulate to them what you bring to the table. And if you're older, you still have something to bring to the table, because sometimes in these groups, we have training exercises and things like that. Somebody has to watch radio. Somebody has to take notes. Sometimes, if it's an extended period out, somebody has to bring the wisdom to be able to teach the young ones. So, your wisdom is definitely wanted and needed in these groups. It's a lot easier to find young people that are interested in this than old people. And I think as you get older, you just think you don't have any value anymore, because that's basically what our society tells you. And that's just not true. We need people that have been through adversity and come out the other side. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
Good.
So don't let age hold you back. If you bring any kind of skills to the table, accounting skills, anything, these groups need you. So, and you really do need them. And then I know in the last couple of years I've had the group help me. Heck, we had to put up a half-mile of fence. The group came out and helped me with that. Like I said, the shed. This coming spring, they're going to help me refilm our greenhouse. At the same time, I've gone out and helped them work on their cars and done other things that, things that we all bring experience to the table. And people always have questions. So, once you have these groups, once you're a part of the group, you're going to have disagreements with people, and that's okay. Life isn't always just an agreement, and a group isn't always going to always agree with everybody. What's important is that after the disagreement is over, that you can all come back together and do the things that you need to do. So I highly recommend that you do this, that you find a group if you don't already have one, and if you do already have one, let's hear about it in the comments, and please don't put the name of the group in your comments. The group may not like that, but just maybe talk about the dynamics of your group. I'm going to have some review videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'll still be doing these types of videos, but the review videos are for equipment that in some cases companies have sent me and asked me to do a review video, and I will. I will not lie in these review videos. If it's a terrible product, I'm just going to say it's a terrible product. But for the most part, the things that I've been testing for the last few months, you've probably seen the chest rig, the Vertex SOCP. That's very nice. I've got a night vision scope that I have to do a review on first. And then some packs and some knives and things of that nature. So that's all I've got today. Make sure you like and subscribe. And we'll talk to you all later. Stay safe.